Good morning, everyone. Brothers, sisters, psychonauts, and seekers of truth. It is Ananka, and welcome to my bazaar. Today, I have a 2C-T-7, 2C-E, and 2C-C trip report for you. The title of this trip report is Twist Myself into a Pretzel and Turn to Meet a New Sun, and was submitted to Erowid in 2019 by the user Transcendence. With all that being said, let our story begin. Get along, Kid Charlemagne. This is an experience that happened over 2 years ago. During the summer, I ordered 5 grams of various 2Cs and summarily decided to abuse the shit out of them while living with my parents. A muggy August evening. Shark Week. 30 milligrams of 2C-T-7 dissolved in 1 cc of water in a needleless syringe. Up the bum. Within 20 minutes, a yellowish haze envelops the room. The black text on my laptop screen develops the sheen of gasoline rainbows. They lift themselves from the browser and hang in the air. Each word I read sticks in the back of my neck and condenses to a pleasurable buzz that wraps around my spinal cord like a tumor. A bug-eyed fly lands on my shoulder and begins to wash its hands. It looks up at me, and I can see my face reflected in its compound eyes. The fly seems to writhe in ecstasy. I feel some small amount of pity for this animal, and so I kill it. Relief washes over me in an awesome wave. 2CTs have a uniquely dirty body load, and this becomes more prominent at about 1 hour in. I have the urge to piss badly, but my bladder is decidedly empty. This sensation greatly annoys me. The room is stuffy and the air seems saturated with moisture. I find it difficult to breathe, though I am asthmatic, so I'm used to the sensation. I recall that the kids who have died from T7 were speculated to have died from pulmonary edema, and I am momentarily concerned. I decide that if I am going to die, I might as well not pussyfoot around the issue. So I bomb 20 milligrams of 2CE and 60 milligrams of 2CC while fingering a rosary. An hour later, and all 3 Cs are pulling me in different directions. The emotionally tempestuous T7 refuses to yield to the gray logic of 2CE, while 2CC contents itself with bathing my organs in a dreamy liquid Valium soup. I brushed the floating crystals out of my field of vision and somehow managed to warm up my vaporizer. I drew 3 or 4 lungfuls and stood. At this point, I have entered what I can only describe as unmitigated delusions of grandeur. I think to myself that it should be illegal to get this high. I have visions of becoming the next Socrates. I have visions of a praying mantis eating itself. I am strapped to a hospital bed, and my parents are looking down at me, shaking their heads. I cannot describe the sheer level of intoxication. It cannot be measured in visuals or euphoria. I just feel dangerously high. Like all my other drug experiences have been on the ground, and now I'm breaching the atmosphere. My brain is overclocked. I pat myself on the back. A voice asks, "Do you know how fucking insane you are?" And I am brought to my knees with laughter. Clearly I do. Every thought from this point on fills me with existential horror that I grip like the bar on a roller coaster. The adrenaline feels nice. I never thought it was possible to actually enjoy chemical fright. Interesting. I am watching Kim Deal smoking a cigarette on stage in Boston and decide that if this broken down cheerleader junkie can play bass in the Pixies, then so can I. I pop in the Beatles anthology and watch a froggy John Lennon stand bow-legged on stage with an acoustic guitar. His gaze penetrates the TV screen, and he winks. The knowing sparkle in his eye at once infuriates and sexually excites me. I shut it off and place The Royal Scam by Steely Dan on my turntable. Kid Charlemagne crackles to life at half speed. Clean this mess up, else we will all end up in jail. Those test tubes and the scales, just get it all out of here. Is there gas in the car? Yes, there's gas in the car. I think the people down the hall know who you are. Careful what you carry, 'cause the man is wise. You are still an outlaw in their eyes. Get along, Kid Charlemagne. Get along, Kid Charlemagne. Huddled in the far corner of my room, I gape at my turntable in wide-eyed horror. I am Kid Charlemagne. The seedy people with which I have associated and the crack houses I have visited over the last few weeks flash before my eyes. These people are obviously being watched. The houses are tapped, and loose lips sink ships. Fuck. I've been careless. I open my drawer and eye my scale and the color-coded vials with the sparkling powders. I dump a gram of 2C-T-7 down the sink as I hear my parents get up to start their day. I twist myself into a pretzel and turn to meet a new rising sun.